Hi, I want to talk to you about the Sony 18-105 Power Zoom Optical Steady Shot Lens, G lens. I originally purchased this lens about 2 years ago when I bought my first Sony interchangeable lens camera, was the A6000. I was moving from Canon. I had a Canon 5D Mark II, and I just got tired of having that big chunky camera carrying it around. It took great images, but it just was I just do a lot of traveling, and I was looking for something lighter, so I bought the A6000, and I bought it with the kit lens. And I thought the kit lens would satisfy me for a little while, but I really did not like it. I didn't like the image quality. I didn't like, just didn't give me what I wanted. So I started looking for another lens pretty much right away, right after I bought the camera, and I found this one on Amazon, the 18-105. It has a power zoom. It's fast autofocus. It's smooth. It's not incredibly heavy. It's really a nice looking lens. It's made out of quality materials. There's a lot of good things about it. I think some people will benefit from it more than others because of its design, and I want to talk about that in a little bit. But first I want to take a good look at the lens and talk about some of its features. Okay, so let's talk about this lens. It comes with this nice lens hood, flower petal lens hood. It has the official name of this lens is the Sony EPZ 18-105mm f4G OSS lens, and it retails for $549. It's a very nice looking lens. As I said before, it has a 6-time magnification. In other words, it goes from 18-105, that's 6 times. It has a constant f4 aperture. You can keep it at f4 all through the range of zoom. It has a minimum aperture of f22. It has a 7-blade circular aperture for that nice bokeh. It has it's made for APS-C format. It'll mount on a full frame lens, but you have to switch it over to APS-C shooting for the Sony cameras. It has a filter size of 72 millimeters. It has this lens does display some distortion if you don't, but it's easily remedied if you shoot in JPEG in camera. And if you shoot in RAW, you can easily remedy it using something like Lightroom. The lens weighs, I think it's 427 grams or 15.1 ounces. It has a power zoom, which is right here, this power zoom right here. Okay, and if you can see it right there, and you can move it up and down. One way is, of course, to wide, one way is to telephoto, and it is a variable speed, so the more you push it, the faster it zooms, which is really nice for video. You can get some really nice effects with video on that. That's called a continuous variable zoom speed. The zoom technology that is in this lens is, Sony states on their website, is a technology that comes from their pro video cameras, and they've implemented it into this lens. It's quiet and smooth when it focuses. It's very accurate focusing. It remains the same length all through the zoom range, and also when you focus it. Very nice looking lens. Mine's a little old. I've had it for a couple of years. I brought it to Europe and a couple of different places like that. I'll show you how it looks on the A6500. It actually looks pretty nice on the A6500 with our pedal. Looks pretty nice in the A6500. It gives you kind of a substantial look, and if you're going to be shooting weddings or something, sometimes that's important to people, is that your camera looks professional. Of course, we know that it's the photographer that takes the images. A good photographer can take good pictures with any camera. Anyway, so let's go go back over to the couch and talk a little bit more about who this lens is for and where it really shines. Okay, if you would ask me for who this lens most suits, I would say in anybody who likes to shoot pictures. But I would say specifically that it's good for people who shoot a lot of video and also like to take stills. It is really targeted at that type of person because of that power zoom, because that power zoom really is smooth and really is a nice effect in videos. It can almost be a little annoying when you're taking still photography because it just doesn't feel quite right. I almost never use the ring, which it does have a ring for zooming as well, but I use the power zoom and it just kind of feels, I don't know, it's just not organic enough for me as a still photographer. The only other lens really in the Sony lineup that compares to this lens is this here, the 18 to 135, and I did a review on this lens if you'd like to take a look at it and see the qualities and the strengths of this lens. Now, some of the things about this lens that the 18 to 105 doesn't do, and let me take this apart here. Now, as you can see, this lens is a bit shorter than the 18 to 105. Let me see if I can line that up. It's a bit shorter than the 18 to 105. It's narrower than the 18 to 105. But when you zoom it out with this lens, this lens actually extends when you zoom it out. Okay, when you zoom it out to 135. So some people don't like that, and some people like it to stay the same length. And this lens also has a variable aperture that goes from 3.5 to 5.6. So these are the two lenses in this category. This one I would say is more targeted at still photographers and travel photographers. I bought it because I do a lot of traveling, and it's a little bit lighter than this lens. It's a little bit smaller, fits in a bag a little bit better because it's narrower and shorter. And I actually like the mechanical zoom more than the electronic zoom. So both of these lenses are great lenses. I can't really tell the difference in the image quality. They're very close in image quality. So I wouldn't say that this one's better than this one in image quality. I just like the way this one works, the way it functions, its size and all that. But if you want something that can give you a really nice operation when you're doing videos and also give you really nice still photos, and you do that combo of shooting, which I'm probably going to eventually morph over to that because I'm mostly a still photographer, but having video on your camera, you tend to think, well, you know, I probably should check that out, and I have started to check it out, and it is kind of fun, and I may start doing that, and then I may want to use this lens more. I don't know. Right now I have it up for sale because I bought this other lens, but nobody's buying it. Don't tell my wife, but I hope they don't. I'll just keep this one. So anyway, yeah, I like this lens. I've used it a lot. It's served me well. If you're looking for something that fits in the category that I was talking about, where you're shooting stills and video, where you might be shooting somewhere and you want to look a little more professional, because this lens just doesn't look quite as professional as that one with that zoom out. It looks more like a little lens that goes on a little camera, although this gives you really nice quality. It just, people don't know. But yeah, so that's my thoughts and my review on this lens. I hope it was helpful to you if you're considering this lens. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, for sure go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to continue making more content. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year, so I'm going to be doing some content in my traveling. I'm going to Europe, and I'm going to do some videos in Europe on travel photography and the different places that I go and see. So anyway, thanks for watching.